Right. The Save the Whales campaign has got a whole lot more heated in the last few months. As we go to air, New Zealander Pete Bethune is under arrest in Japan after boarding a Japanese whaling ship. An anti-whaling protest vessel, the 80 Gill, was sunk after a mid-ocean ramming by Japanese whalers. So where to from here? Well, we're joined by Sea Shepherd Conservation Society founder, Captain Paul Watson, live from our Wellington studio. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
I guess the most pressing thing is, what's the latest on Pete Bethune?
Pete Bethune has been turned over to the prosecutors, which means that nobody can talk to him, including his lawyers, for about 3 weeks. And then in that period of time, they'll be able to determine if they're going to lay charges against him, what those charges will be.
What were you hoping to achieve? I mean, you must have... Did you talk to Pete before he went ahead and did this? Did you have a plan?
Pete went on board the Shona and Maru No. 2 to confront the captain who destroyed his ship and almost killed him and his crew. And I think he was morally justified in doing so. So the Japanese deliberately ram and sink one of our vessels, and then they turn around and charge the captain of that sunken vessel with trespassing. It's a little absurd.
Were you hoping that our government would demand his return, would step up and say something? I mean, was that part of the reason that he went over?
Pete Bethune boarded the Shona Maru No. 2 because the New Zealand government wasn't coming, to his defense. A New Zealand registered vessel was destroyed by a Japanese whaling vessel without any repercussions at all. Nobody's even questioned the captain of the Shona Maru. I don't know of any incident in maritime history where a captain can deliberately sink another vessel and walk away scot-free without anybody even asking him any questions.
I guess people would say, though, is that most times in sea sort of things, we're not driving our boats in front of other boats and trying to disrupt what they're doing.
When the Adigil was sunk, it was actually motionless. It was waiting to be refueled, and the Shona Maru deliberately turned into it and took it out. That was a cold-blooded ramming. That was not part of a confrontation. And, of course, it was against any rules of engagement ever. But then again, that's not unusual in Japanese history.
How rough is it out there? I mean, we obviously get little snippets of video to see, but, I mean, they're deliberately ramming. How dangerous is it out there?
It's extremely dangerous. I mean, Sea Shepherd's doing what the governments of the world should be doing. We shouldn't be down there. They're targeting endangered whales in an established whale sanctuary in violation of a global moratorium on whaling, in violation of the Antarctic Treaty. What is the good of these treaties and these regulations if governments will not stand up and defend them?
You've lost a boat. One of your crew is under arrest in Japan. Still, the whales are being slaughtered. Do you think this aggressive approach is working?
Oh, it's definitely working. We've cut their kill quota by half this year. We've cost them about $80 million. They haven't made a profit in the last 5 years. That's the language they understand, profit and loss. We're going to keep making sure that they do not make any money down there. Our objective is to sink them economically, to bankrupt them. The
Prime Minister of New Zealand says diplomacy and compromise is the best approach to stopping Japan, and a sentiment that a lot of the governments around the world seem to echo. What do you say to that?
Diplomacy's failed for 23 years. Diplomacy and compromise are exactly what the Japanese want to hear. Diplomacy is just simply another word for business as usual. Keep talking, we'll keep killing whales. That's what it's all about.
Dropping the ban and replacing it with strict quotas is another idea that's been mooted. Our government seems to be at least considering that.
It's a silly idea. It's like saying to bank robbers, look, we're going to let you legally rob some banks in the north if you agree to cut down your robberies in the south. You don't negotiate with poachers. These guys are poachers. They're killing endangered species. How can anybody compromise with them? The only reason Japan is getting away with what they're doing is because they're a wealthy nation. There is no difference between them and elephant poachers in Africa, except elephant poachers in Africa are black, they're poor, and they get shot for what they're doing.
If the point, though, is, and this is what the Prime Minister said, and the argument that's been put to us is, if the point is to reduce the number of whales being killed, if the ultimate goal, sure, the ultimate goal is to have no whales killed, but if we want less killed than now, and a quota system could do that, should we at least consider it?
Absolutely not. The point is to uphold international conservation law. What is it about the word sanctuary that people don't seem to understand about the Southern Ocean Whale Sanctuary? You do not kill whales in a whale sanctuary. That is illegal. What Japan is doing is illegal.
All right. What's happening in Wellington today?
The Steve Irwin, our ship, the Steve Irwin, is coming into Wellington. We're on the way to the Mediterranean to protect bluefin tuna from poachers, and we'll be having a visit here and also to focus attention and rally support for Pete Bethune.
All right, and finally, what can people do if they want to help? We had a lot of interest from people saying, if I want to do something and I'm keen to do something, how can I help? How can I help Sea Shepherd organisation?
Well, Sea Shepherd is a volunteer organization. People can either volunteer physically, they can crew on the vessels, they can be shore support, or else they can just support us financially. And I can tell you it's really expensive going down there every year.
I bet it is. Thank you very much for coming on Sunrise this morning and talking us through it. Good luck with your weekend activities.
Thank you.
And of course,